sports.
We are sports. We are Sun.
Last night, Mookie Betts supplied all the offense Boston needed to top the Rays. And today, Jake Odorizzi goes to the hill looking to pick up his third victory in 4 outings. The Rays and the Red Sox for the final time in 2017 next. This afternoon, we welcome you to Tropicana Field with the Rays and the Red Sox. We'll wrap up not only this 3-game series, but the season series. The Rays on the losing side of the season series for the second straight year, trying to salvage the final game. Have to go back to 06 and 07, the last time the Rays dropped the season series to the Red Sox in back-to-back seasons. Hi again, everyone, with Brian Anderson, Dwayne Stats. Great to have you aboard. Well, the Rays and the Red Sox do meet for the final time here at Tropicana Field this afternoon. And it has been a little bit of a challenge for the Rays, except for Adeiny Hechavarria, who for about a month now has been red hot.
This guy we continue to talk about, and for good reason. He continues to put up the numbers. Adeiny Hechavarria, let's go back over his last 5 games. Of course, it's a 5-game hitting streak. 3 of the games that featured multi-hit efforts by Adeiny. And look at that, 5 extra base hits out of the 9. Remember, this was a guy in his first 38 games as a Ray had 4 total extra base hits. So he continues to swing a mean bat, and he's getting the power and production to show for it. On the other side for the Boston Red Sox, you want your best players to come up big in the biggest games, and a stretch run is exactly what that is, a series of big games. And Mookie Betts, the last 10 has been outstanding. The average at 318, the on base is at 400, 3 doubles, 4 home runs. He's driving in runs, he's scoring runs, and he's hitting the ball all over the field. This is a guy you better mix up your pitches today on him, up, down, in, and out, because he's feeling it.
It's a Sunday, another Kids Sunday demo, and when we come back, Doug Wechter will be in charge of instruction leading up to this one between the Rays and the Red Sox. Kids Sunday demo next.
baseball at Tropicana Field in advance of Game 3 between the Rays and the Red Sox, and every Sunday is dedicated to the kids, helping your little leaguers learn to play like a big leaguer. Here's our own Doug Wechter with a classic drill for the pitchers.
All right, today we're going to do the towel drill. This is a great drill. Little leaguers use it all the way up to the major leagues. It's good for pitchers to really get full extension, teach you how to get full extension on your pitch. All right, Colt, go ahead and grab this towel. You're going to grab it and grip it just like a two-seam fastball, four-seam fastball. You want these two, index finger and middle finger, going through the towel, okay? Now what I'm going to have him do is go through his normal delivery, and as a coach, I'm going to come down to the end of the slope, and I'm going to lock in where he's throwing his towel. Go ahead, buddy. Good. All right, so I marked right here. That's where he's fully at, full extension with that towel. So my goal is to get him even further out. I want him to drive, and I want him to feel like he's getting more extension. So if he's right here with that towel, I'm putting my glove right here, so I'll get another inch of extension. All right, buddy, go ahead. Good. So he's touching the glove. All right, he's barely hitting it. So I'm going to keep my glove there, and I'm going to ask him to try to go a little bit deeper on the glove so I know he's understanding what I want him to do. Good. So that one went a little bit deeper. That means he's getting even further extension. Try it one more time for me, bud. Good. That one went right here. All right, so obviously he understands what we're trying to do. He's doing a good job of getting full extension, and he's driving out toward the mound that much further just after 3 throws. All right, so this towel drill is very good for 2 things. First of all, gives you really good extension like I just said. Secondly, we didn't talk about this, but he's pushing off the rubber even more, so he's getting more power from his lower half. Both those things are good for your arm health and arm strength. Great job, buddy.
Good stuff, boys. Countless towel drills through the years for today's starters. Jake Odorizzi for the Rays, Eduardo Rodriguez for the Red Sox. On the other side of this break, it'll be Dwayne Statz and Brian Anderson with the call. Game 3, Rays and Red Sox coming your way next.
Jake Odorizzi heads to the mound looking for his 9th win of the year. Trying to finish off the season series with Boston with the Rays victory. The lineup he'll be facing this afternoon, presented by your Southern Ford dealers, will have Xander Bogaerts at the top of the order, followed by Dustin Pedroia, who will be the DH. Hitting third, Andrew Benintendi, Mookie Betts, Mitch Moreland, and Christian Vasquez, 4, 5, and 6. Bottom 3 in the order, Devers, Holt, and Bradley Jr.
Well, and for Jake Odorizzi, looking for a strong finish to the season as he's making his 26th start 8-8 on the record, ERA 4.52, 127 1/3 innings, and just 2 starts removed. You remember the last time he started at home against the Minnesota Twins, 6 2/3, gave up just 1 hit, no earned runs, and picking up that 8th win. Something similar to that would be a nice send-off into the off day tomorrow for the Rays. Let's take a look at the Rays defense and see how it's going to line up here this afternoon. Behind Jake, brought to you by Golden Diamond Source. In the outfield, left to right, we have Cesar Puello, Kevin Kiermaier, and Peter Borges. Across the infield, third to first, Trevor Plouffe, Adeiny Echeverria, Brad Miller, and Lucas Duda. Jesus Sucre will be behind the dish.
So here we go. The Rays 7-11 against Boston this year. 3-5 here at the Trop. And Xander Bogaerts starting the day hitting .271. And Jake Odorizzi after his first win against Boston this year. First pitch is a fastball too high. A ball, no strikes. First pitch at 10 minutes past the hour. And there is a strike. It's 1-1. Vic Carapazza calling the balls and strikes. Stu Shearwater down at first. Laz Diaz at second. Jeff Nelson down at third. 1-2. The fastball fouled straight back. It's Pedroia on deck, back in the lineup. He was not in their lineup last night. 2-2. Infield pretty much straight up here for Bogaerts, but in center field and right, Kiermaier way over toward right center. Borges crowding the line, and Puello off that left field line apiece.
Yeah, how about that? I mean, interesting, very interesting outfield lineup. I mean, Kevin Kiermaier is giving up a ton of ground in center field, and Puello is going to help him out in left center, but he's giving up the left field line. Spray charts.
Now the 2-2. And right to Borges, back a few steps and right. So just true to those spray charts, Borges makes the catch. Well, today's jackpot brought to you by the Florida Lottery. And you look at the head-to-head matchup. Dustin Pedroia against Jake Odorizzi. 13 of 30 translates to a .433 personal average against Jake, with 3 home runs, a couple of doubles in that mix as well. The pitch is outside.
Well, think about what Jake Odorizzi prefers to do. He likes fastballs top of the strike zone. Well, guess what? So does Dustin Pedroia. And so if you're going to challenge him up there with the heater, you run the risk of a good swing by Pedroia. You want to give Pedroia fits. You got to work him down and away. You know, down knee high outside corner is a pitch that he'll give you, but he forces you to make it consistently. And if you do miss up, he's got the reach to be able to poke it into right.
That's a strike, 2-1.
Well, you see straight across, but you can go down and away, and you can come up and in, but it better be in, not up and out over.
Now it's a 3-1 count. Well, Pedroia, as we know, has been a tough out since the first time he arrived. And you know you're having a pretty good year when in that extra inning game he went 0 for 9 the other night and still hits .306 for the season. And he draws the walk here.
Speaking of that game, did you see how many men he left on base in his 0 for 9? 13 men left on base. I mean, you talk about a night to forget, but overall, like you said, the numbers are still there.
Yep. Well, here is Benintendi Andrew Benintendi. 19 home runs, 2 of 11 or 2 of 12 actually in this series, but a run scored last night and a steal of third when he timed up Alex Cobb. There's a shot into right, but Borges back in front of the track to make the catch. Pretty well hit by Benintendi, and it goes for out number 2.
Well, there may have been a little guesswork there by Benintendi, because we know that Jake Odorizzi, the majority of the time that he uses his curveball, it's early in the count, a lot of times first pitch to a left-handed hitter. And so here comes that first pitch curveball that he's trying to just roll in for a strike, and Benintendi is all over it. Fortunately for the Rays, Peter Borges was all over that line drive.
Now Mookie Betts. Betts had 2 hits, 2 runs scored, a couple of runs batted in last night. The night included his 22nd home run of the year. Pitch is wide. Gray with an eye toward first. There's the home run off the bat of Mookie Betts last night.
Well, how quick is that bat? How quick is that bat on balls in?
Yeah, sometimes bats slow down this time of year, not his. It's going to be a strike. And it's now 1-1.
This is where you have to know your body. You're talking about if you want to play in a championship caliber club, your most important games, they all count the same. I get it. But August, September, you've got to be able to perform. You've got to be able to separate from the pack and put yourself into the playoffs. And so you have to be ready to play in those games. And it's not always ideal 120, 130 in. You're not going to feel as fresh. But you've got to know your body and know what it takes to get ready to continue to perform at an optimal level.
And we get a chance to watch Betts from afar, but you really get the idea for a young player. He has a great idea about this game across the board. The liner into center, charged by Kiermaier, and he makes the catch to retire the side. Line drive out to center. We're headed into the bottom of the first. Kevin Kiermaier will lead it off. No score. The first inning with Eduardo Rodriguez headed to the mound for Boston. And the Rays line up. Presented by your Southern Ford dealers who look like this. Kevin Kiermaier leads it off, followed by Peter Borges and Evan Longoria. Lucas Duda, Danny Echeverria, and Trevor Plouffe hit 6th with Brad Miller, Jesus Sucre, Cesar Puello rounding out the lineup against Rodriguez.
Well, Eduardo Rodriguez, his last 2 starts have come against Toronto and Oakland, and he has gone a combined 1-0 with a no decision. 12 innings pitched, has given up just 7 hits and 3 earned runs. Throwing the ball very well right now.
This pitch to Kevin Kiermaier is the ball. Well, the Rays face another lefty. And And you'll do that against this Boston Red Sox pitching staff. 1-1. This is the 97th start by a left-hander this year for Boston.
Well, think about, they've got two 16-game winners that are lefties. Pomerantz and Sale. Rodriguez. Yeah, they can run them out there at you.
2-1 to count on Kiermaier. And now the count evens 2-2. Between the Red Sox and the Dodgers, if you play those clubs, you're probably going to face a lefty. It's a chopper headed toward the middle, and that's stopped by Holt, but by the time he got there, no play, and Kiermaier has a base hit.
As soon as that ball got over the head of Rodriguez, it was a base hit. I don't care if Bogarts gets there. You're not throwing Kiermaier out on that chopper. I don't care. Just too much speed, and that ball was well placed, and Kiermaier leads it off again. I'll tell you, he has been something out of that leadoff role since coming back from injury. What a spark plug.
Yeah, he has taken charge. That's an 8-game hitting streak for him now. And he gives the Rays speed, but also pop. Great power out of that leadoff spot. 14 home runs. Now here's Peter Borges. First pitch is a strike. And for Kiermaier, that's 14 home runs in 88 games. And he's been leading off since he came back from the disabled list. Look away there by Borges. 1-1.
And you will continue to see that power emerge. I mean, Kiermaier is a big enough, strong enough guy, and he'll take some shots. I mean, we see that early in games now. You want to come out with the first pitch fastball to get ahead 0-1, and he is going to whirlybird you.
But in. 2 balls and a strike. Eduardo Rodriguez, just 24 years old. The Orioles had him, and then they made the deal involving Andrew Miller. Rodriguez went to Boston, and he has Borges out in front on the changeup there. It's 2-2.
Well, fastball, changeup, slider. He'll cut it. Loves that changeup, and he'll throw it to lefties and righties. Primarily a right-handed hitting lineup today here for the Rays. Trying to figure out how to beat a left-handed starter. It's been a struggle for this team all season long.
Yep. They have a 6-game losing streak against left-handed starters, and an AL worst 16-27 record against left-handed starters, and that continues to be an issue. No secret it was an issue early.
Yeah, and you would better believe that it will be something that's addressed in the offseason. Has to be. It's just too glaring of an issue for it not to be.
Ground ball down to third off the glove of Devers. That'll be an error as he chases it down. So the error charge to Devers. This is 11th of the year. The Rays put the first 2 men on.
Well, this was pretty routine too, and we've talked about Rafael Devers solidifying the third base position, and I guess he's done that as far as he's going to be out there, but the errors continue to come. I mean, that's a easy play. I'm sorry, at the big league level, that's a play that has to be made, and for whatever reason, off the thumb of the glove, he had an error in the game last night, and that gives the Rays instant opportunity.
Now Evan Longoria. Evan 5 of 10 against Eduardo Rodriguez. And the off-speed pitch in for a strike.
A little backdoor that cutter. And that's what we're talking about. Then you got the changeup, similar speed, moving the opposite direction. And of course, the fastball and the breaking ball.
Line drive, base hit into center field. Here comes Kiermaier. Ball bobbled by Bradley Jr. Borges will try to go to third, and he moves up. Rays take the lead. Kiermaier scores on the Longoria base hit. He was going to score anyway. And Borges, with that bobble out there by Bradley, decides to move up to third.
Boy, some real sloppy play here early by the Red Sox. Now, he did come back with that changeup at Longoria. That plate coverage once again, and he's got plenty of that. And Bradley Jr. coming up ready to throw, and that ball eludes the glove.
So the Red Sox committing 2 errors in this game already. A base hit, a run batted in for Longoria. The error on the move to third by Borges. Lucas Duda at the plate. He takes a strike. Bradley Jr. committing his 3rd error of the year. Duda is down in the count, 0-2. One ball, 2 strikes. 2 hits, 2 errors, a run home. Nobody out, men at first and third. And Duda is out on strikes. 1 away.
Let's take a quick peek at Boston's defense, brought to you by Gold and Diamond Source. Outfield left to right, Benintendi, Bradley Jr. and Betts. Infield third to first, Devers, Bogarts, Holt, and Moreland. Christian Vasquez will be back behind the plate.
And as we mentioned in our open, Adeiny Hechavarria has been very hot lately, but if you back it up for about a month, he's been very good offensively. Big cut right there on a fastball. Strike 1. 7 home runs for Hechavarria, 6 since coming to the Rays, and you see over the last 24 games hitting .329 and that extra base hit production. Sharp spike in the right direction. Two.
Eduardo Rodriguez, a couple of good fastballs there, and you remember the Rays are putting this inning together against a guy who in his career against Tampa Bay has an ERA of over 7.5. So they've had his number in the past, a little bit different looking lineup than he's used to seeing. Hasn't faced this team since last season, but they've had a good approach off him.
Ooh, and a cut and a miss. That fastball out of the zone got him.
Yeah, not that at bat. He was able to power 2 fastballs by Hechavarria that were hittable. This one, not so much. He just gets him to go up and out of the zone here and chase that ball up around the shoulders. And that's just a good job of pitching by Eduardo.
Blue. Loof goes for the first one, pops it up, foul. Moreland after it, he'll make the catch, and so the Rays will get a run and take the lead at the end of an inning, 1-0. Baseball on Fox Sports Sun is brought to you by your local Ford dealer. By Freeze Tone, protect your vehicle's radiator, use Freeze Tone. And by your local Toyota dealers. Let's go places. A special day today with a little bark in the park.
Yeah, this is where you get time and a half for post-game cleanup. You got the DJ Kitty hat on too right there.
Yeah, I wonder about that.
You know, here's the thing. You know, Raymond
takes a strike.
Raymond has been the resident mascot around here for a long time.
Yep.
DJ Kitty has slowly slid in, and now anything DJ Kitty giveaway. Think about the onesie.
Yep.
It's become a big thing.
It's a big deal.
It is.
Absolutely. Foul up the right side, 0-2.
Oh.
Pretty good shot down there. Everybody okay?
Went right over the low wall.
There's a swing and a miss on the pitch up. Fastball upstairs gets Moreland to chase.
Jake Odorizzi special. Boy, he has been so very good at putting that pitch up there close to the eyes but out of the range of the swing.
Yeah, that's the perfect pitch up there for him. There were stretches when that was a bit of an issue, but you get up there and that's the Odorizzi magic.
Yep. You've got to know who you can do it against, and it works against a lot of guys. Some guys you need to set it up more than others, but you're right, that height is perfection.
There's a ball taken by Vasquez, the catcher. Jake's given up 29 home runs this year, gave up 29 last year. Here's the difference: 187 and 2/3 innings last year, giving up 29, and coming into this game tonight, this afternoon, he had given up 29 and 127 1/3.
Yeah, definitely the rate has gone up, and when you talk about the fact that of the 29, 15 are solo, but that means 14 with runners on, and those are the ones that really hurt.
Strike now, 1-2 to Christian Vasquez. And we have seen a change in approach here from Odorizzi, not with that pitch up, because that's been his bread and butter for a long time. But we have seen that cutter more. And he strikes out Vasquez up in the zone, very top of the zone. 2 up, 2 down via the strikeout.
Yeah, he's got a feel for that pitch here this afternoon in the early going. Drive it, drive it, drive it. And that ball, you see, it seemingly looks on TV like it's rising. It's actually not. It's just not dropping as fast as most other guys' fastballs.
Now, you're listening to the scientists again, aren't you?
Well,
There's
listen.
no such thing as a rising fastball.
That's right.
And
by rising,
every scientist will tell you that.
Yeah, and it's funny because as you know, and you hear it all the time. Guy throws a nice rising fastball. All that means is it's not dropping as quickly as others, and that goes with that spin rate. That's why it's such a big deal. You have better spin rate, it's going to stay up a little bit taller, a little bit longer. Not to mention when you think about you're throwing off of a mound. So you're already angled down, and then your release point is high. It's not going up from there. If it did, it'd be over the catcher's head about every time.
Yeah, you anticipate, the eye and the brain just anticipates what has come to be, in most hitters' eyes and minds, a normal rate of drop. And if you can keep that dropping at a lower pace, now you've got what is referenced as that rising fastball.
I love when you impart this knowledge on our listeners in the white lab coat that you have on right now. I love that.
Well, you don't use that often.
Well, it works. And it's a great way to describe it. That's absolutely the truth.
Swing and a miss. He goes up there. So 3 strikeouts all on the fastball up. 1, 2, 3 go the Red Sox. 1-0 Rays.
Well, headed to the home half of the second inning, the Rays with an early lead over the Red Sox. Let's take a look at Dwayne as he was getting ready in the rotunda today for today's ball game.
That's a production meeting when we were discussing that very topic.
And that's where you had all of your homework done on the fact that it's not a rise ball, it's just a lower rate of drop on that yellow legal pad you had there. And it's just amazing what you'll put into a demo day to
it
bring
is demo day, yeah.
Yep, knowledge to the fans.
One strike.
I'm not sure what the stethoscope is going to be used for later in the broadcast, but I love that aspect of it too.
There'll be a reason.
Well, if I drink too much of this coffee, you may be using it on me.
A 1-1 count on Brad Miller. This one is fouled right back now. 1-2.
I cannot believe that those guys down in the truck were able
They're
to
very talented.
dig up a picture of you in a white lab coat after it was.
I didn't even know that during the production meeting they were taking photos.
Well, we were in the draft room too.
Yes, we did.
Although that was in the rotunda. You're busy today.
High foul out of play by Brad Miller. Yeah, met some good folks over in the draft room before the game.
Some diehard fans.
Yes.
Some diehard fans, and we challenged them next year to come here and do some face painting. They have raised gear head to toe, but we told them that it was David Putty endorsed, and that they should really look into going into some face painting, to support the team.
Yep.
And they seem to be all for it.
They were decked out in raised gear and admitted to trying to stuff the ballot box once in a while for the All-Star process, in past years. So that was great.
One of those shirts, I got to tell you that the feeling that I had was that shirt hadn't come off in 4 or 5 years. It was, it was there.
A regular occurrence.
Yep. There's a rotation, and that shirt's heavily involved.
The reach by Miller. He's out on strikes against the lefty. So one away here in the bottom of the second. NBA.
You know what that was? That was the production meeting Cinco de Mayo, as we were getting ready for that.
Well, we try to stay current.
Yep. Not sure what I was holding there.
Every once in a while, we rotate in charge of the production meeting. You were in charge that day.
Yep.
Jesus Sucre.
I think that was the production meeting out in Anaheim.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think it was.
Yep.
You get to be a little bit more assertive in the West Coast time zone.
Because I'm all fired up for late night with the Rays.
Yep, that's it. Sucre against the back foot out of the way. The count is a ball and a strike.
That's the production meeting where you go into how can we walk the fine line of staying employed and yet entertaining the masses back home after midnight.
That's right. That's right. Well, the motives are pure. We want to entertain people. A little chop. Holt at second. And the toss to first. So a strikeout and a ground out. 2 up, 2 down against Eduardo Rodriguez. That argument has worked so far that our motives are pure. Heart's in the right place. That's important.
I follow your lead.
Oh, now it's my fault.
What?
Here's Cesar Puello getting a start in left field against the left-hander.
I can't wait to see this guy get into one because he is a very strong man.
Strong and energetic.
Yep.
And interesting. It would be interesting. He's played a little bit here and there. Put these at bats together, but nothing in a sustained manner. But he is strong, and that would be interesting to see over a period of time what he might be able to do.
His minor league numbers.
The base hit the other way, and he's aboard with a 2-out single.
Yeah, this season down in AAA, he's hitting like 327.
Yep.
The problem is now that you come to the big leagues where you're an everyday guy down in AAA, now you're getting, maybe a couple of starts a week, depends on how many lefties you're going to face. The Rays have faced a bunch here recently, and maybe this starts to get him into a little rhythm.
And as we referenced that early, facing lefties has been an issue for the Rays, and there should be some opportunity for some right-handed hitters going forward to step forward. Kevin Kiermaier extended his hitting streak to 8 when he singled and later scored to start the bottom of the first for the Rays. Up now with a man on and 2 outs. That's a line shot, hit hard, but right at Bradley Jr. Well tagged baseball there, but right at Bradley. 1-0 Rays.
Ball Kids Sundays, we celebrate the youth of the Tampa Bay area who play baseball, and softball is included in that too. I'm joined by the 8-under state champion Bloomingdale Comets. I thought you guys were gonna go crazy. They take directions so well, guys. They are waiting for my cue. And if you want to nominate your youth league for a trip to the Trop, go to raysbaseball.com/playball. You'll have some pretty big shoes to fill after these Comets showed up at the Trop.
Yeah, and I'm sure they do take coaching very well to be that successful. Congratulations to those young ladies.
Absolutely. And look at all the face painting that they've done.
I mean, they're right with it.
To support the team.
Yep. Well, here's Brock Holt. Pitch is a strike. Holt, then Bradley Jr. and Bogarts. One and one. You know, you always find a hitter that somehow, no matter what you try to do, has success against you. And Holt hasn't attained that position yet against Odorizzi, but he's certainly showing signs. He has 5 career hits of Jake. He has 2 doubles, a triple, and a home run. So 4 of those 5 hits from extra bases. Jake ahead of him right here, 1 and 2. And he lays off the fastball up.
I would venture a guess too that if you went back and looked at the video, that the vast majority of those pitches are in the same area. You know, you just find yourself in the wrong area, maybe because you're falling behind. There's a number of different reasons why that happens.
And he strikes him out right there.
It's a good area.
Yeah.
Down and away and off the plate.
It's 4 consecutive strikeouts now for Odorizzi.
I tell you, he has been feeling it in the early going here with the fastball command. That one down and off the plate away. The previous 3 were all elevated.
Yeah, that's a nice little fastball there. You know, compared to the fastball up out of the zone, then you get that with a little fade. That's a nice combo. The curveball drops low to Bradley Jr. Bradley on the receiving end of that hot shot line drive hit by Kiermaier. to end the second inning. It's a big cut and a miss, and it's 1-1. That was one of those hit directly to Bradley, and you can tell by the reaction of the fielder sometimes. You can't believe that the ball's hit directly to him as he's trying to read it out there. A hard hit ball into center field, and it came right to him. A ball, 2 strikes. High fly ball, shallow center. Kiermaier waiting for this one, and that's out number 2. So 2 up, 2 down in the third. Join the Rays in supporting those affected by Hurricane Irma. The entire Bay Area takes a hit. It takes the whole community to join together and rebuild. Donate at youcaring.com/Rays Irma Relief. Xander Bogaerts, the top of the Red Sox lineup, in the box right now. Upstairs, 1-0. Or did it? No, Bogaerts, that's going to be a strike. I think Rick Carapazza says that there was a little contact, and that, in essence, a foul ball strike. Trying to check his swing.
You're never going to be able to tell from that angle, but that certainly has to be the call.
Ground ball right back to the mound. Odorizzi with the toss to first. 1-2-3 go the Red Sox. 1-0. Rays lead this one. Again to hit in the bottom of the third. MLB.TV every night, every device. Watch every out-of-market regular season game live. Plus, get a free subscription to At-Bat Premium, the #1 app for live baseball. Blackout and other restrictions apply. Visit MLB.TV for details. Peter Borges to open the home half of the inning. An opening changeup, strike 1. Longoria next, and then Duda. Fastball about the same spot, wide and taken for ball 1. 1-1. Rodriguez has had some knee issues over the last few years. He hurt his knee in winter ball, and that carried over into this season for the reasons. This is his 22nd start. He spent some time in the minor leagues as well, trying to get well. 2-1 the count to Borges. 2-2. A 10-game winner 2 years ago, 10-6. And last year with some knee issues, and then went 3-7 with a 471 earned run average. And around the feet of Borges, and the count is full. He faced the Rays last year in September and had a big strikeout game. 5 1/3 innings, had 13 strikeouts.
Yeah, how about that? I saw that. Does not come to mind, but that is a ton of punch. You're talking 16 outs.
High fly ball into left. Benintendi comes back in now and grabs it. That is out number 1 at the bottom of the 3rd.
I think the Boston Red Sox have always had very high hopes and high expectations for Eduardo Rodriguez. Has not yet quite panned out. However, you do see what excites them. If you could start to put together those types of outings consistently, maybe not 13 out of 16 outs being strikeouts, but certainly his last 2 starts here coming into this one have been very good.
Yeah, the opposition just 7 of 41 off him in those 2 starts. That figures out to barely over 170. There's a ball to Longoria, 1-0.
He's got a good fastball. We've seen it 93, 94. Good changeup, very good changeup, good arm speed. But again, it comes down to command, putting yourself in the right counts.
You know, he's had issues with that arm slot being a little inconsistent. He's been on various spots of the rubber, way over on the third base side right now.
Well, and what that does, a lot of times when you go over to the third base side, you think about against the right-handed hitters, you know, you can get that ball started middle of the plate and get the good sinking arm action to the outside corner. And also, it's closer to pitching away from lefties and in on righties. So it gives you, the majority of the time, a left-hander is going to face a lot of right-handed hitters. So you're closer to be able to work them in on that side of the rubber, and you get a little bit more movement away from them. And then when you do face a pretty good tough lefty, you're closer to that outside corner. And so you see this set up quite a bit with left-handed pitchers, especially when you are a starter.
Ooh, pretty close right there, and it's a full count.
Just trying to cut that pitch a hair and couldn't get it there.
It's lined into right, but it will stay up and be caught by Betts. 2 gone. So with 2 gone, bases are empty, and it's Lucas Duda up here now.
You heard that too?
Got the youngster here in the PA. I like that.
I was impressed. I was going to actually say something. Whoever's doing the Kid Sunday announcing here.
Yeah,
is
very good.
Selling it. See now Lucas Duda.
Oh, there he is, right there. Look
Yeah.
at that young man.
Yep. Just get that hair tucked under the hat, and we're off to the races.
He's got a little mic presence there with the introduction of Lucas Duda.
He did.
I like it.
Showing no fear.
He's comfy already. Look at that.
Lucas Duda needs to do something to get him another hitter.
This pitch is wide.
We lay out and we let the kid bring up
That'd be cool.
Echeverria, because I'd love to see him, a Danny Echeverria. That's going to be a mouthful for
Yeah.
the youngster.
3 balls and a strike. Fly ball and a line drive to get Borges and Longoria. Duda up in the count, 3-1. Now we're going to go full.
Well, there's that changeup once again, and that's something that Rodriguez, we talked about it coming into this start. He throws that changeup righties, lefties. It does not matter. And if it's a great pitch for you, why not? You get the change of speed and great location there.
Oh, strike 3 called. Duda thought he had drawn the walk, but he is caught looking. 3 up, 3 down. On to the 4th. 1-0 Rays. Well, today's Unlimited Baseball break is brought to you by T-Mobile. The Cleveland Indians clinching their 2nd straight AL Central title with the 2nd best record in the majors. 92 wins, and the Yankees 25 consecutive winning seasons with 14 division titles and 5 World Series wins over that span. Houston trying to clinch today. They're home against the Mariners, and the Astros will have Justin Verlander on the hill today trying to get the job done. Danny Echeverria, beg your pardon, Dustin Pedroia. Rays out 1-2-3 in the bottom of the 3rd. And ahead of ourselves, Echeverria is going to lead off the bottom of this inning, while Pedroia leads off the top.
You're right there. I like what you're thinking, though. Hey, Jake Odorizzi, have a quick 1, 2, 3.
That's what they've had so far.
Yes, they have.
39 pitches through 3 innings. Pitch foul out of play. Pedroia, Benintendi, and Betts.
Well, the fastball for Jake Odorizzi has led the way so far. He has been very good with that pitch as far as the command, the location, and it seems to have had, or seems to have so far, that extra little life, extra little zip on it.
You know, I was looking at some numbers on Odorizzi because he's been, for this year, a little better on the road than he has been at home. But over his last 2 starts at the Trop now, he's gone 9 2/3, giving up just 1 hit, 2 walks, and 10 strikeouts in that stretch. So the last couple times out at home, he's been dealing.
Yep. When you get comfortable pitching in your home ballpark, it's going to favor you as a pitcher, or at least make it more fair. And certainly Jake Odorizzi, being a fly ball type guy, sets up well for him. Got good outfield defense.
just a little bit of that one, holding the count at 2-2. Benintendi on deck. Back to the hill. And another little toss to first. Pedroia is the second out. Couple of ground ball outs, and both have been comebackers, handled by Odorizzi. Bogarts to end the inning, and now Pedroia.
Yeah, hey, field your position, help yourself out. You know, we see so many pitchers nowadays because their stuff is so important in the game, and guys are trying to create stuff, that you see those pitchers driving that fastball or whatever pitch it may be towards home plate, and then really wheeling off the mound and not in any position to field and help themselves out. And Jake's gotten a couple here in the early going.
Here's Andrew Benintendi. He was a bit late on the fastball there. Strike one. One ball, one strike. Foul the other way. Jake Odorizzi making his 26th start of the year. Trying to get to 9 wins. It's fouled back. The Rays have Archer at 9 wins. He's 9-10. Cobb 11-10. And Odorizzi trying to get to 9 wins, trying to go to 9-8. A ball, 2 strikes. Swing and a miss, and he goes up again with the fastball to strike out Benintendi.
We just remarked about, it looks like Odorizzi's got a little bit more life and just that extra little pop on the fastball. This one registering at 95. Hardest of the day, and he gets it above the swing of Benintendi and keeps it close to him with tremendous velo. That's probably as high as we've seen him all season long.
Now here's Betts. He fouls the first pitch out of play up the right side. Well, 5 strikeouts. They've all been swinging. He struck out Moreland, Vasquez, and Devers in the second inning, all on fastballs up. Benintendi in this inning on the fastball up. This one is up out of the zone. 1-1 now to Betts. It's a hot shot down toward the bullpen.
See the boys making plays all season long.
Yeah, that's a hot shot.
It was. Do or die type of hop, and to the backhand side. The ball smoked. Just pulled off of it a little bit. Double ear flap, I think, got in the way.
Yeah, you have to take that into consideration.
Yeah.
Has a chance to slow you down a little bit, too.
Well, it's all right. We're waiting for the next play to make. Human being, those
That's
balls
right.
sometimes they're going to get by you.
Foul ball back. A pitch up.
Very, very half-hearted swing there by Betts.
You know, it was almost as if that ball was up, borderline strike, and it had a little movement in. Let's see. Yeah, just to stay alive kind of thing. Down to third. Kloof with the throw into the runner, and Duda gets the tag on Betts. 3 up, 3 down, and we're headed into the bottom of the 4th. 1-0 Rays. We head into the bottom of the 4th. Hey, here's what's coming up Tuesday. Rays Live, pregame show presented by your Gulf Coast Honda dealers. Cubs are in town, which means Joe Madden will return to the Trop, and Arestas will break down Chris Bryant. Cubs in for 2. Here is Adeiny Echeverria. Kloof and Miller to follow. Tapper third, charged down there by Devers, who makes the play.
Are you a dog guy, Dwayne? Or were you? Have you been?
Yes. Like them. Don't have one currently.
Yep.
You know, important to, I think, have a relationship with the animal of your choice. And and you can have that with a dog. You know, they look at you and go, "What are you doing now?"
Yep.
You know, they give you those looks. And we love horses for the same reason. You can have a relationship to a point with a horse, and the same thing with dogs. Still man's best friend.
Oh yeah. Listen, I gave I gave my ex-wife our Rottweiler that we had, and because the kids, and with our travel schedule, it's just not the same. So the kids can have the, but like I'll come back in the off season, and Lizzie will come running around that house because there's some strange guy in the driveway, and she'll come not real happy, and then sees it's me, and go, just like flattens her. I mean it really is a real relationship. Very close relationship.
Always good to be friendly.
Yeah, be friendly to the Rottweiler.
Yeah.
That's a great. That's a great tip. Always have a handful of treats.
Yeah, had a couple dogs as a kid, as an adult. Well, I mean, we traveled all our lives. So it's hard.
It is
difficult
hard
to do that.
Yep.
1-2, and this one skied back into left, back to the track, and back onto the surface there is Benintendi who makes the catch. 2 gone.
I get the feeling that with some of the work that's been done by the truck lately, that we've got some cat lovers down there.
I think we do. Yeah, we do. I don't think there's any question about that. Pitch is down to Brad Miller. 1 ball and no strikes. Base is empty here. One ball, 1 strike. Good people in the truck, though. Really good people.
Yeah.
Work hard, dedicated professionals, and animal lovers. 2 balls and a strike. That's why our crew gets along so well.
We do.
Yeah,
I
we really
can't
do.
imagine. Quite honestly, I cannot imagine that is the norm. I mean, from across the board, all of the different jobs done by the truck, and then coming upstairs, and it's a tight unit.
Yeah,
I think it's those production meetings.
I think it is. The fact that you rotate the authority around.
Yep,
that's important.
Yeah, but you have to have one guy pull the trigger. It can't be a quorum. That doesn't fly.
You don't believe in the college of coaches? Strike 3 call. Miller caught looking right there. 3 up, 3 down. We go to the 5th. 1-0 Rays. The 5th inning, he's retired 11 in a row. Has 5 strikeouts. He's given up just 1 base runner, and that was to Pedroia, the second hitter of the game, when he walked him. And his opponent, Eduardo Rodriguez, has retired 12 of the last 13 to face him.
Well, there's some work done there. And I'm not sure who has more impressive hair.
First pitch is fouled back. Mitch Moreland struck out his first time. Moreland, Vasquez, and Devers. 2. Been inside 1 and 2. It's been a very efficient day here for Odorizzi.
Yeah, this lines up with exactly what Jake is looking to do each and every time he goes out there. You know, it's been one of his big goals is to get deeper into games.
Right there for it. A couple of steps into the outfield. Miller, and Brad makes the play. Moreland is out of there.
You know, and the way that you do that is you've got to be efficient. If you want to pitch deep into games, you've got to be efficient. And that's one area where it's been tough for Jake because of a lot of deep, extended at-bats, a lot of foul balls, which of course is going to lead to a lot of pitches per inning, and it just ends up shortening your outing. Where today, boy, he's got everything right in line. Perfect. Actually better so far.
Christian Vasquez. Did he go? He did not, says Sherwater down at first.
There just has been a certain crispness today to Jake's stuff, and it starts with the heater.
Well, Jake with 5 strikeouts, and 4 have come on that fastball up. And he got Brock Holt on a fastball down and away with some movement in that direction. That was an impressive pitch by him.
It really was. I mean, because we're so used to seeing him power that thing up in the zone, and you show the ability to bring it down with a little run to it, keep it on the fringes. Really haven't seen too much of the secondary stuff, but he hasn't needed it up to now.
Ball, 2 strikes. Fly ball back to center. Kiermaier is there, and he makes the catch. So 2 up, 2 down in the 5th inning. Eldorado Furniture invites you to settle in with us when we're back Tuesday. The Rays taking on the Chicago Cubs. It'll be Lester and Archer, the pitching matchup. Our coverage begins at 6:30. Is down to Devers. Devers out on the fastball up his first time. Two and 0. Two and 1. Count even. 2 and 2. Well, I'll tell you, he's been in a nice rhythm. He's been crisp. Good velocity, good location. And now a full count. was the first full count we've had. The second 3-ball count. He went 3-1 to Pedroia when he walked him in the first. Now 3-2 to Devers. 2 outs. Bases empty in the 5th. And just a little piece of that one. The breaking ball, and boy was he surprised, and just got a little piece of it to stay alive.
Yeah, that was probably ball 4 too. But Devers, a very awkward, surprising type swing, and he foul tipped it right off the glove of Sucre. Here it is, the hook stays up.
To right center field, on the run, Borges to track it down, makes a nice running grab, and that retires the side. 3 up, 3 down in the 5th. 14 in a row retired by Odorizzi. On their first inning run, we're headed to the bottom of the 5th right now. Join the Rays in the remaining games against the Cubs and Orioles. For shirts off our backs at each game, make a donation to the Rays Baseball Foundation and receive a scratch-off card. You could win tickets to a 2018 home game, a jersey off a player's back, or other prizes as well. Every card is a winner. Sucre. This is a changeup to start the bottom of the 5th. Rajay Davis taking over in right field. Sucre now with a 1-1 count. Fastball missing. To liner into right, and it's going to drop on one hop in front of Davis. Sucre is aboard, picking up the 4th hit allowed by Rodriguez. Sucre aboard for Cesar Puello. With his 2nd hit for the Rays. Base hit his first time up today in the 2nd inning. That's a strike call. Inside corner, that fastball, 0-2.
Obviously, Eduardo Rodriguez, understanding Puello, wants to get those arms extended. You saw him take that ball into right field for a base hit his first time up, so he's crowded him with the first 2 heaters here. And now that opens up the whole plate.
Ground ball over the mound and right back over the bag at second into center field. The first 2 hitters aboard for the Rays in the 5th.
Well, Rodriguez, number 1, didn't get the pitch where he wanted it. Number 2, because he rolls off, he doesn't have any chance to make that play. Hit right back over the rubber, but his glove not in position to try to flag that down. If he does, he's probably got 2 outs, nobody on. And as it stands now, there's nobody out and 2 on. Rays looking to add on.
It's Kevin Kiermaier, top of the order for the Rays. Shorten's on the bat, taking the pitch for a ball. The Rays put together 3 consecutive base runners on a hit, an error, and another hit. That led to the first inning run. Longoria with a base hit drove in Kiermaier. Now back-to-back singles by Sucre and Puello, bringing Kiermaier to the plate in the 5th. Two and 0. Side, and now the count runs to 3-0.
Now, this is your inning here. This is your inning that you can start to try to pile on. You've got Rodriguez on the ropes. A couple of base hits to start it off. A 3-0 count to a guy who's swinging the bat well at the top of the order.
It's a strike. 3-1. That will take the count full, 3-2. Sucre second, Puello first, nobody out, full count on Kiermaier. Fouled back. We'll see another 3-2 pitch from Eduardo Rodriguez. Rodriguez in the mid-70s in pitch count right now. Swing and a miss. He gets that fastball by him. That's the first out of the inning. Rodriguez turned that one up a bit.
You know, you've got to really tip your hat here to Eduardo Rodriguez. He had 2 runners aboard, still does, but 3-0 count against Kiermaier, and he was able to work his way back in and then get that fastball up in the zone and get the big strikeout. That's some very good pitching in a tough situation. Not out of it yet, though.
Peter Borges. Rays trying to expand this 1-0 lead. Borges takes the ball too wide. Borges reached on an error. Comes this Boston ball club, committed 2 errors in the first. Two and 0. The Rays with Sucre at second in scoring position. 2 on here. The Rays right now are 6 of their last 60 with men in scoring position, hitting 100 over that span. And a strike call on the inside edge. 2-1. Run, 5 hits for the Rays, no runs, no hits for the Red Sox. It's cued off the end of the bat, and it's a 2-2 count. Borges stepping back. Rodriguez slowing it way down with these first 2 men aboard. He struck out Kiermaier. 2-2 to Borges. That drops the count to 3-2 on that changeup low.
Yeah, you know, he had been coming after Borges' first couple at bats with some good changeups, and right there, Peter able to recognize that pitch low out of the hand.
Borges draws a walk on a pitch wide. The bases are loaded with 1 out for Evan Longoria. So Longoria is due up, and the Red Sox are going to talk it over on the mound here. Rays scored their run in the first when Evan singled home Kiermaier, and he'll be up with Sucre at third, Puello at second, and Borges at first base. Big conference on the hill.
Yeah, and you wonder here, you know, they're going over how they're going to attack Evan Longoria in this situation, and you start to think about Eduardo Rodriguez and his stuff and what matches up well against Evan. Because here in 2 at-bats, you've had Evan Longoria hit the ball hard 2 different times. This ball, he just smokes. Changeup, great plate coverage, going to drive in the Rays' run, and then of course he lined out to right field on a ball that was smoked. So right now, a pretty good idea of what Rodriguez is doing, and great contact, first 2 ABs.
And Evans going after that fastball on the first pitch. Big cut and a miss. That one in the mid-90s. Longoria now 1 for 10 this year with the bases loaded after starting the year 0 for 9. And a cut and a miss again. The fastball, and Rodriguez has turned it up.
Well, this is what we're seeing, because you're thinking to yourself, what do I have for this guy? And you better let it all fly right now, because this could be the, you know, the difference in the game this inning. So he's gone 95-96 with the heater.
It's 1 ball, 2 strikes. Right-hander Maddox up in the bullpen. That will take the count to 2-2.
We're not deviating at all from the big time fastballs. And you wonder if at some point he tries to give Evan a little something different, or just says, you know what, I'm just going to sell out with the heater. I've gotten 2 by him already.
2 and a ground ball headed toward the hole, backhanded. Bogarts cannot do anything with it. The run scores. Sucre crosses the plate. The bases will remain loaded, and the Rays now lead 2-0. So a little roller toward the hole between short and third, and Longoria picks up an infield hit and a run batted in.
All about location here. Gets it by Devers, and then Bogarts, and even if he comes up with that clean, there was just no play to be made. You're not going to get Evan over at first base, and Borges was into second. He was digging towards second base. He was not going to be able to force him there. So
Evan now 7 of 13 against Rodriguez. And here's Lucas Duda. Bounces it foul for a strike. The base is still filled with Rays base runners. 1 out, 1 run home in the inning. One and one. Down and in. 2 balls and a strike. Fastball missing.
Starting to labor here a little bit. A lot of pitches in the 5th, up over 90 now. A lot of high leverage pitches too, because he's been in trouble this entire inning after the leadoff base hit by Sucre.
And a strike. Carapazza taking just a half beat there to make up his mind, and the count goes to 2-2.
Ultimately, he made the right call. That was a good pitch.
Stays alive, fouling that one back. Fastball in the mid-90s. So Rodriguez here in the 5th inning in trouble, has been touched for another run and has stepped it up a bit. Tapper foul. That time he changed up. And a meeting between Rodriguez and Vasquez. Cuello's at third, Borges at second, Longoria on first. They scored a run in the 1st, and they have another run home in the 5th. And an opportunity for more with the bases loaded. Two lifted into short left. Out from shortstop, Bogarts will make the catch, and he'll get that ball back in toward the plate. So Duda pops out. 2 away. Gives Duda 0 for 3 and brings up Adeiny Echeverria, who is 0 for 2 against Rodriguez. Echeverria has been on a hot streak. And 2 hits last night, single and a double. 0 for 2 today, and 1 strike the count in this at bat. Fastball up and by him.
Remember, he did this to him earlier in the game. 2 elevated heaters and then went way up and out of the zone. Got Echeverria to chase right after it. Might be trying to do the same thing here. He just continues to attack Echeverria, who's been swinging the bat very, very well with nothing but fastballs out over.
One ball, 2 strikes.
See Christian Vasquez trying to hard sell everybody out there, tapping that glove in the dirt like, oh, I want this pitch down. Meanwhile, the whole time they're planning on that fastball up.
The 1-2. And he left it just a little bit wide. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Tried to backdoor the cutter, and I'll tell you, nice job by Vasquez to sell it, but Vic Carapazza not buying. See if they go back up to the heater. Yeah, that thumb going up tells her that the first sign is going to be the fastball up.
The pitch is foul.
Yeah, when he's gone with that thumb up first, he's calling for the fastball up. Now, if Rodriguez shakes, you're going to go to something else, okay. But if there's no shake, that's the pitch. See if they stay with it.
We'll do it again.
Oh, yeah, I mean, it's the same sequence. Different pitch.
And a cut and a miss. Had him out in front, struck him out. We're through 5. Rays get a run and lead 2-0. Today's Geico great moment on this date, 2009, Wade Davis, a complete game shutout against the Orioles. 9 innings, just 4 hits, struck out 10. First of 3 career complete games for Wade Davis on this date in 2009. Well, 72 pitches for Jake Odorizzi. He's given up a walk, and that's it. He walked Pedroia with 1 out in the first, and nothing since. Here's Brock Holt. First pitch, breaking ball that just missed. Holt takes a look at that one. Too low. One of 5 strikeouts recorded by Odorizzi. And he takes ball 3. The pitch close, but just out of the zone.
You know, when you're a hitter and you find yourself in those 2-0 counts, you can tend to be a little bit more picky. That's what Brock Holt was. And same thing with 3-0.
All 4. So after he had retired 14 in a row, Odorizzi begins the 6th by walking Holt on 4 pitches.
Well, not ideal, but you just get back to making pitches, and that's something that Jake has done all afternoon.
Jackie Bradley Jr. lifted a fly ball to Kiermaier in the 3rd inning. And another miss. This one is low.
I'm trying to get him with the off speed. You know, Jake, a fly ball pitcher, you know, he's not a big ground ball guy by any stretch. Has shown in the past the ability to get a ground ball double play when needed. Obviously would prefer one now, and that's why he starts out with the change.
And another miss. So that's 6 in a row here to start the 6th inning.
Got his pitching coach slightly concerned, and that's why you see Sucre out on the mound. Trying to get him right back in line here. You know, during the course of any outing, when you're a starter and you're talking about throwing 100 pitches, you're going to have a few stretches where things get a little bit out of whack. It comes down to how quickly can you get yourself back right. And this is one of those tests that Jake's facing right now.
And he finds the zone with that one at the very top. 2-1. Now 3 balls and a strike.
Well, this is certainly not the road you want to go down when you're coming around the top of the order once again. And I know they haven't had much success off him today, but you're going to get your 3rd look. And for the Rays and for Jake Odorizzi, you'd prefer that without 2 runners aboard and nobody out. So big pitch here.
And a big cut and a miss. The count is full. So after missing on the first 6 and 7 of the first 8, we have a full count on Jackie Bradley Jr. And a long one to right. No doubt about that one. Jackie Bradley Jr. jumped all over that 3-2 pitch. First hit of the day for Boston. And just like that, the game is tied. Great contact by Bradley Jr. on that 3-2 pitch.
That fastball belt high and right out over the plate. I don't think that we've seen Jackie Bradley Jr. hit a ball like this off the Rays in his career. And that was absolutely a no-doubter. And with one swing of the bat, you get your team's first hit and you tie this game up.
30th home run given up by Jake Odorizzi. That's a career high. A strike, so 5 no-hit innings, and then a walk and a home run to open the 6th. Way upstairs, a ball, 2 strikes. Romo up in the bullpen. Sergio Romo. It's fouled away. Bogarts grounded out pitcher first in the third. Skies it toward the right field line. Borges with a lot of time over there to make the catch. So that's the first out of the inning. Dustin Pedroia will now hit. Well, the Rays got a run in the bottom of the fifth, left the bases loaded, making it 2-0, but now it's tied 2-2. Pedroia takes ball one.
Well, a brand new game here, and the Rays have to get right back to work. And it starts by getting the next 2 outs in this inning. And this game, it's so funny. You know, you've got these stanzas. You're going to play 9 innings, 3 outs in an inning. You know, the Rays have worked all afternoon, been able to build a 2-run lead, and in a matter of minutes, the game gets tied back up off of a pitcher who has been as locked in as we've seen him really all season. Actually, his last home start, very similar against the Twins.
Yeah, he had retired 14 in a row to start this inning, allowing only 1 base runner, and that was a walk in the first. And a walk in the home run.
And it hurts.
Yep.
Where at in the order?
Yep. 8 and 9. He's behind Pedroia now, 3 and 1. High fly ball. That's Kiermaier waiting for it. So that's out number 2. Pedroia retired. Andrew Benintendi will be the hitter. Benintendi line to right. That was in the first, struck out his last time. And misses a fastball to start him this time. It'll be strike 2. Benintendi 0 for 4 in last night's game. For 2 so far. Bullpen ball loose from the Rays right field bullpen. Sergio Romo part of the game before he actually gets into the game. He's halting this game right now.
Just letting people know.
1 and 2.
If they didn't already know.
He's an interesting guy.
Ready. Yes, he is.
He's
a talker.
Yeah, and you talk about happy to be here and
yeah,
part of the bullpen.
Yeah, he really is enjoying his time with this team.
Cut and a miss. This time he has Benintendi out in front and over that split change. Home run by Bradley Jr. ties it at 2.
With the game tied 2-2 between the Rays and the Red Sox, and a sobering thought for us here on a Sunday afternoon watching baseball. 43 children each day are diagnosed with cancer. The fight for a cure for pediatric cancer continues, and the start of that fight is right here in Tampa Bay. Today specifically was inside Tropicana Field. But guys, the National Pediatric Cancer Foundation is based in Tampa, and coming up on Rays Live the Postgame, we'll have more on that and the Rays' involvement with a very worthwhile cause. Some big smiles inside the Trop with some very special guests. Dwayne, B.A.
All right, Rich, thank you so much. First pitch here is a strike. Trevor Plouffe leading off in the bottom of the 6th inning.
Hickey giving Romo the business. Like, we're trying to play a game up here. Try to hit the catcher's glove. Yeah, how am I supposed to bring you into a game, a meaningful game, if I can't trust you to get the ball to catch it? So he's like, okay, column A, you're up in the 6th. No, wait a minute. You wait for the 9th, and I'll see you down here.
Let's keeping guys loose.
Yes, sir.
It was a line drive caught by Moreland at first. Plouffe is retired. That was a great little sequence down there.
That was.
Jim Hickey, a little stroll down to the bullpen. Say, we're trying to play a game here.
Yeah, you build a relationship with your pitchers, and you can see how they react to them. He's one of the best in the game. You can make an argument that he is the best in the game.
Yeah, you certainly could do that. There's a strike taken by Miller. 0-1. Rodriguez out here working the 6th inning, coming off a 37-pitch 5th inning. Down to short. Bogarts up with this one, and so what does Rodriguez do? He gets exactly what he needs. 2 outs on just 5 pitches. Got 106 right now. Jesus Sucre. He opened the 5th with a base hit. That led to the 2nd run for the Rays. Pitch is a strike. Upstairs, 1-1. Wide right there. So 2 outs, nothing doing so far. There's a fly ball back into deep left. All the way back to the wall. Gone! Home run for Sucre. His 6th home run of the year, and the Rays take the lead. Well, that's helping his battery mate. Sucre connecting for a long one, and it's 3-2 Tampa Bay.
Oh, what a bailout there by Sucre. Rodriguez having a quick inning, looks to get out, maybe a chance to get a win, and just could not finish the deal. Sucre launches on a mistake out over the plate, gives the Rays the lead, and ends the afternoon of Eduardo Rodriguez.
The home run. Rays get the lead. Red Sox make a call to the bullpen. Brought to you by the Florida Lottery. On the home run by Jesus Sucre. Enter your Lotto Fantasy 5 or all new Fast Play ticket and the Florida Lottery Game Day Cash promotion. You can win a 2018 Lazy Days RV motorhome. Over $200,000 in cash prizes, bowl tickets, season tickets, and more. You must be 18 or older to play. Play responsibly. Austin Maddox, the new pitcher, making his 10th appearance, and Puello, the first man to face him. Cesar Puello, 2 for 2 today. Strike one. Price up in the bullpen for Boston. Working out of the bullpen now.
And probably the hope here from John Farrell is to get Austin Maddox to end this inning and give David Price a clean one to start. He's not a guy that you're going to get up multiple times, so the fact that he's up now probably means that he's going to be in the game next. Not going to sit him down, get him back up, at least not initially.
One and one. And a little cut and a miss there on the changeup. 1-2. .110 pitches for Rodriguez. wide. Fastball out there at 94. Romo had started to throw again in the Rays bullpen. And Tommy Hunter is standing out there as well. Two. It's a Tapper foul. Boston tied it on a 2-run home run from their number 9 hitter, Jackie Bradley Jr., and the Rays have grabbed the lead on the home run from their number 8 hitter, catcher Jesus Sucre. There's a base hit into left, and Puello is 3 for 3. And he singles off Maddox. And that will get Kevin Kiermaier up there.
Tried to come up with another changeup. This one not in a very good spot. And Puello, who'd seen a number of them during the course of the AB, able to get the head out, knock this ball into left field. You know what you like about Puello's day so far? Outside of the fact that he's got 3 hits? Tell me where he had him. Base hit to right, base hit up the middle, base hit to left. I mean, you talk about using the whole field right in a row. He's worked his way all the way across the outfield.
Now here's Kevin Kiermaier, got under that one and lofts a fastball into right center. Davis is there to make the catch. And the Rays are out in the 6th, but they grab the lead on the Sucre home run. Through 6, Rays 3, Boston 2. As we go to the 7th inning, Toyota inside look. Well, this bullpen continues to be locked down for the Rays since the 1st of August with a 246 earned run average. Right at the top.
Well, this was something that that management targeted at the trade deadline. They brought in Dan Jennings and Sergio Romo and Steve Cishek. And since that moment in time, they have been the best bullpen in Major League Baseball. Unfortunately, during that time, they have been the worst offense in Major League Baseball. And that's canceled each other out, I guess.
Rajai Davis leads it off here. He's hitting in the spot vacated by Mookie Betts. He left with a contusion to his right thumb. Davis took over in right field in the 5th. He hits for the first time in the 7th. There's the breaking pitch in there. 1-1.
It's been Romo's ability to command the breaking ball and to come up with a decision on which one to go with. The short, tight one or the one that sweeps. And he's got both kinds at the ready. There's the sweeping breaking ball,
Yeah,
bigger.
We've seen both of them right here.
Yeah. Yeah, and there are other times where he'll keep the short one in the zone, sweep the other one either across the zone or start it on the plate and then sweep it off. But the decision making has been very good, but he's been able to execute, and that's why he's been so good with the Rays.
And he takes care of Davis. And you can see how effective and how lethal that pitch can be to a hitter. That combination.
Look where it starts. Look where it starts, and then look where it ends. You can see it's off the end of the bat of Rajai Davis. He does not have a bat long enough to reach that pitch. So if you start your swing, you're going to be out of luck.
Mitch Moreland, who has struck out and grounded out, takes the pitch down. 1-0. One ball, one strike. Ground ball to the right side. Miller bobbles it, recovers in time, and Moreland is out at first. 2 gone.
Ball off the end of the bat. Okay. Oh, now we're getting into not so funny land, but the play is made ultimately, and that is the bottom line.
Well, there's Christian Vasquez. And a strike on the outside corner. It is amazing how Romo can be pinpoint with his breaking stuff.
Well, all of the years and years of experience and tinkering and realizing where he needs to be able to release a pitch, release point, start it, what you're looking at. It may be, he may be looking at a hitter's kneecap and say, if I start my pitch there and reach there and throw the big breaking ball, it's going to sweep across the plate right to the outside corner. I mean, he's got all of his different keys and triggers that he's been able to lock on with the Rays. Like that right there. He starts that ball in, and you see Christian Vasquez give up on it. His hands actually come up as if to watch Vasquez's reaction now. This is in. Let me get my hands.
Yeah,
locks him up.
And you can't blame him, because when you see where the release point is, I mean, from that point on, a hitter's thinking, there's no way.
You're not going to stand idly by. You're going to make some sort of movement. If it's not swinging, let's get out of the way, or at least stand yourself straight up.
Fouls this one.
Okay, now you take it a little bit further off the plate. Vasquez able to stay on that pitch that was on the plate, move it a little bit further away from him.
And he does, right off the plate, and strikes him out. 1, 2, 3 go the Red Sox against Romo. 7th inning stretch with the Rays leading 3-2. Sports Sun is brought to you by your Southern Chevy dealers and by Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance. We go to the Rays half of the 7th inning. Rays lead 3-2. David Price will enter the game for Boston out of the bullpen. Austin Maddox faced 2 men. Worked a third of an inning, gave up a hit, no runs. Rodriguez, who worked 5 2/3, Maddox a third, and now Price. Just a couple stints on the DL with elbow issues.
Yeah, it's been a wasted year here for David Price, and now the Red Sox looking to maybe use him out of the bullpen down the stretch and into the playoffs, where he can contribute in that fashion. And as we expected, John Farrell wants to get him a clean inning in his first outing out of that bullpen since being activated. And here we go.
He was reinstated from the disabled list Thursday. And Peter Borges will lead it off here.
Well, this is his first game out of the bullpen since 2010 with the Rays. It was
He had 4 in 08.
Yep.
And then in 2010.
Oh, you remember what he did in 08 out of the pen and even into the postseason.
Yep. Here's Borges lining one into center field, and back goes Bradley Jr. to catch that line drive. Borges wasn't waiting around.
Well, you know that David Price wants to come in, throw strikes, and lead with the fastball. So be ready to go. He puts one out over the plate to try to get ahead of you. There's no reason to sit around and wait, not at this point in the game.
Well, Evan Longoria has driven in 2 of the 3 runs for the Rays in this game. 2 for 3 today. He takes a strike. The Rays got their 3 runs off Rodriguez. Longoria. This is the breaking ball. Fastball just did miss. Boy, that was a pretty good pitch. One ball, two strikes. And a wave and a miss. So Longoria out on strikes. 2 up, 2 down here in the bottom of the 7th.
How about that cutter? 90 miles an hour, that swing by Longoria. Just a nice job there by David Price of sequencing and getting to a pitch that clearly Evan was not expecting.
Now lefty on lefty, Lucas Duda. Looking for his first hit. Pop up was to Bogarts in the 5th inning. Chopper back of first, backhanded by Moreland. Price covers, and it's a 1-2-3 7th. We go to the 8th now. Rays lead 3-2. Rays baseball on Fox Sports Zone is brought to you by your Gulf Coast Honda dealers and by Pinch A Penny, the perfect people for a perfect pool. We go to the 8th. Steven Souza Jr. enters this game in right field for the Rays defensively. Peter Borges moves over from right to left. Puyo lifted. And Tommy Hunter is the new pitcher for the Rays, making his 57th appearance.
He's been awfully good. 58 strikeouts in 54 innings, ERA 2.33. The opponent's average a very good 191. Been the 8th inning guy for the Rays.
Devers, and he shoots one high and deep down the right field line, and that ball is foul. So that first pitch fastball, he jumped on it and fouled it. A little cut to it in, and apparently just enough.
That's exactly right. That is exactly right, and that's the great thing about that pitch. If you do execute it and get it where you want to, breaking, and cutting in on a guy, if he gets the barrel to it, it's going to be tough for him to keep it fair.
1-1. Just a little bit wide now. A 2-1 count. Six for Odorizzi and 1 for Romo. Popped up. Sucre's after it, so is Plouffe. And Plouffe makes the catch. In from third in foul territory to retire Devers. Brock Holt.
Second baseman, Brock Holt.
Holt walked in the 6th in front of the Bradley Jr. home run. He struck out his first time. First pitch is a strike. Around his feet.
Tommy Hunter, the fastball, we've seen that get up to 99 in the course of this season. The cutter, mid-90s. Got a slider to go on top of that. Nothing off speed, really, unless you consider the very hard mid to upper 80s slider off speed. Aggressive mindset, pounds the zone.
And that tapper foul beyond Ruben Amaro Jr. down there at first.
He's one of those guys, Dwayne, that comes out of the bullpen. He's got a lot of fight in him. A lot of fight in him, and he works perfectly at the back end. You're thinking about a championship caliber club, a 7th, 8th inning guy, could close if need be.
Into center field. Here comes Kiermaier in, and he makes the catch. Holt is the second out. Yeah, and because he can fill, it's so segmented now, all parts of the game. 7th inning guy, 8th inning guy, closer, and he can do them all.
Yeah, there's no doubt. Depending on, he has kind of settled into that 8th inning role, and Cishek in the 7th, and then of course Colomé closing. But if you really wanted to play the matchup game, and he matched up better to the guys coming up in the 7th, you just flip-flop the two. And I think both of them. I mean, Cishek's been a closer, interchangeable at the back end. And boy, has that worked out for the Rays, as we saw with the graphic, how good they've been since the deadline. And you turn it over to that guy, and he had a game the other night that didn't go his way, but those have been few and far between.
Strike pitch grounded. Echeverria across his body and safe at first. Echeverria pulled toward the middle, had to go to his right and throw across his momentum. And Bradley is aboard on an infield hit.
Yeah, to a guy with good speed, and you see where he's going to start out right there. And that's just too hard of a play to make. You did everything that you could, but you were throwing, like you said, across your body, all that momentum. A guy that can get up the line quickly, and Bradley Jr.
Red Sox have 2 hits, and Bradley Jr. has them both, a home run and the infield hit. Xander Bogaerts. He lines it toward right center. Souza's there to grab it on the run. Souza Jr. racing into right center field to take care of that line drive. Bottom of the 8th coming, 3-2 Rays. Lead as we go to the bottom of the 8th. Our Bonefish Grill catch of the game. How about this one that we just saw? Steve Souza Jr.
Yeah, and you get the feeling that he had such a full head of steam, almost overran it. That ball, he had to go up with the glove almost behind his head. A lot of effort put into that, making sure that ball was corralled, and Boston didn't have any ideas of getting back in this game.
Echeverria leading off. Strike one. 0 for 3 today. He has swinging a hot bat. It's pop foul out of play. 0-2. Souvenir. Way to go. So ball, 2 strikes. Price worked the 7th. Now here in the 8th. Eduardo Rodriguez made the start. The Rays scored 3 runs off him, 2 earned. Home run by Sucre, the difference in the game right now. This one down the line, but it's going to hook foul. Out of play it goes. Alex Colomé up in the bullpen for the Rays. And the off-speed pitch gets Echeverria.
Number 14, third baseman Trevor Blue.
1 gone in the 8th. Here's the changeup.
Boy, good reach on that changeup, and you see the action at the very end. And Echeverria, who has become extremely aggressive at the plate, cannot quite reach that one. And 4 straight here retired by David Price.
Plouffe misses. Strike 1. Well, Price was on the DL right from the get-go this year with that left elbow strain. Made his season's debut on the 29th of May. Another stint on the sideline and coming back from inflammation in that elbow. Ahead of Plouffe, 2 strikes. In the bottom of the 8th. Into the screen. Rays scored in the first inning. An RBI base hit from Evan Longoria scored Kiermaier. Got another run in the 5th. Driven home by Longoria. A single scored Sucre, and then with the game tied 2-2, Sucre hit a home run in the 6th inning. His 2nd hit of the day and his 6th home run of the year. What's the difference? Jesus Sucre. Two to Plouffe. Full count. Lifted into center field, coming straight in. Bradley out from second is Holt, who makes the catch.
Number 13, second baseman Brad Miller.
And Brock Holt ends up taking charge of that. Didn't know if Jackie Bradley Jr. was going to be able to get there in time. You know, ideally, you'd like to have the guy moving towards home plate make that catch, but there was some question on whether he was going to get there. So Brock Holt takes charge and waves him off. And then stiffs him on the hug.
Brad Miller. Fastball. That's a strike. A chop to the left side. Devers with his throw to first. The Rays are up and down in order. On to the ninth we go. Rays lead 3-2. This moment brought to you by Coors Banquet. And in the spotlight, the Rays catcher, Jesus Sucre, singled and scored in the fifth and hit the home run in the sixth inning to give the Rays the lead. And we go to the ninth inning. He'll be behind the plate with Alex Colomé entering this game. Following Odorizzi, Romo, and Hunter, now Colomé.
44 saves, and that leads Major League Baseball. 64 in the third innings. And Alex Colomé looking for 45.
And he'll face Pedroia to lead it off. Red Sox 2 runs, 2 hits, 2 errors, 2 men left. Bradley has both hits. He's 2 for 3. The rest of the team 0 for 23. And there's a pop-up foul ball off the bat of Pedroia. Plouffe makes the catch. Boy, so important to get that first out in the ninth. And on one pitch, Colomé retires Pedroia.
Boy, and you're so right about that. And when you can do it on one pitch, it settles everybody in. It's going to limit Boston's opportunities, makes them more desperate.
Here's Andrew Benintendi. Colomé pitched here Friday night, got 2 outs, 31 pitches. Benintendi 0 for 3. The pitch is a strike.
Well, this is the toughest part about closing. You know, the other night you have a 3-run lead and you let it get away from you, and the game gets tied up. You go way deep into extra innings, and now you're asked a couple days later.
Oh, look out. A shot right back over the mound and ducked by Colomé. Benintendi has a base hit.
Well, as I was saying, you're asked to come right back out and finish this one off. And about the time that gets set, Colomé fortunately gets out of the way of Benintendi going right back up the middle, and here we go.
One on, one out.
Short memory, very short memory to pitch out of the bullpen, number one, but to be a closer because there's no safety net for you.
Now here's Rajay Davis. He entered the game, replacing Betts. Betts left with a contusion of the right thumb. Benintendi, the runner at first, drawing the attention of Colomag. Ground ball, shortstop, Echeverria. Second base, 1. First base, 2. Rays win it. 6-4-3. Echeverria, Miller to Duda. And a quick ninth inning.